Hey, what's up? How's it going? My name is Mads and I run a small art business with my partner Lizzie called Hunter Moon Press. We make zines, prints, stickers, and are working on a few comics right now. Since starting to make zines this year and sell them at zine fests and general art fairs, we've grown our collection quite a bit. So in the form of old school book and author tube tags, I thought I'd do one specifically about zines. Honestly, this is just an excuse to show off a lot of the cool work that our friends and peers make, and maybe even a couple of our own. And it gives me a chance to sit and appreciate the things that are usually just sitting on our bookshelves. So, I came up with a list of about 15 things, plus some honorable mentions because there are some I just wanted to talk about. But if you want to do this, feel free to add or leave out ones that don't resonate with you. This is also only like half of our zine collection, so if you want to see more and have any specific prompts or questions, leave them in the comments and maybe I'll make another video with all of your suggestions. Alright, let's get started. The first zine I ever got was this one, called There Are Other Worlds. I got it in 2019 on a college field trip to the Minnesota Center for Book Arts, before I even knew what a zine was. There's a little shop there called Open Book where they sell work from local artists, and I thought it was cool that I could get this little handmade book of poetry and writings for only $2. We actually started selling our own zines there a few months ago, which was a really cool, like, full circle moment for both of us. I won't read the entire thing because that's a dangerous precedent to set given how many zines we have to get through in this video, but here's a snippet. I'm above some sort of ocean. If I breathe, I might fall in and stop breathing. I find irony in that. I'm not sure what's holding me up because there are no ropes on my arms. There usually are. I can't breathe now, and I have to ask if falling in would really be any worse than it is already. I can't actually find the first zine I ever made, but I'll put up some pictures. And instead show you the second zine I ever made, which is the first one that we actually started selling at events. It's called Why, but also Hello. I've talked about it in a few of my other videos if you've seen those. But it's really short and kind of about existential nonsense. Definitely my favorite part of it is this center spread, the as above, so below. It's a quote from Dimension 20's Fantasy High freshman year. The first rule of existence is as above, so below. People are fractal images of the universe. You are as we are.
Bad things happen to good people because things happen all the time, and it is up to people to determine whether they are bad or good. In the same way that your heart feels and your mind thinks, you, mortal beings, are the instrument by which the universe cares. If you choose to care, then the universe cares, and if you don't, then it doesn't.
Brennan Lee Mulligan as The Void. One of the longest zines I have is this memoir comic called Saturn and Aquarius. It is pretty thick, I think around 60 pages, and is about how their Saturn return gave them the confidence and clarity to start transitioning, and what that journey was like for them. There are 6 volumes in total, and an adjacent comic book called Saturn and Capricorn that covers a lot of the same themes and stories. They dub it as a sort of astrological coming of age, and I highly recommend you check it out. I know I made these prompts up myself, but Shortest Zine was actually a little bit tough, so I just picked the one with the least amount of words. It's pretty much all pictures, and then just says "Hell is real" on the back. So I guess it's the quickest read, even if it's not necessarily the shortest. I don't know if that's the same thing. I'm not even sure who made it or where I got it. If you know, or if you are watching this, please let me know. It's super cool. The biggest zine I have is also another comic zine. It is also pretty long, but not 60 pages, so doesn't count for that one. But I got this at the first Zine Fest we tabled at in St. Cloud, and eJoy actually was a huge help in getting us into the zine and comic scene here in Minnesota, and helped us meet a lot of cool people. So I appreciate them for that, and their artwork is also super fun. The smallest zine I have is this one, called Tiny Things in Nature, and it also, I guess, could have qualified for shortest zine because there are no words, but it's so tiny, so it had to go for smallest. The most complicated fold is this Choose Your Own Adventure zine called Mycelium, which is also just a really fun piece, aside from the folding technique. It follows a parasite-infected knight trying to make their way back to the castle before they are completely consumed by the parasite, and all you need is your decision-making skills and a coin to flip. I'm not sure if they're still making this one, but if they are, I'll definitely link it, because it's just really fun to play through. The most unique shape is this little matchbook zine called Burning Out, which I'm not even sure if the creator labels as a zine, but it's paper and has a little story in it. So I feel like that at least counts for this video. But it's just so impressive and adorable, and I look at it, I don't know, not as much as I'd like to, but every time I do, it calms me down, and so I should do that more often. I'll definitely link this one and their other work down below as well. The most creative technique is definitely this one. They used something called cyanotype, which I sort of know what it is. I know it involves a special kind of ink and the sun, but it just is such a cool effect, and I think it's just really pretty to look at. They could have probably done anything and I would have liked this, but I just also think it's cool that they did a little thing about weeds. All right, we got a tie for most informative just because we have so many and I just narrowed it down to these 2 mini ones. The first one is watch out for wildfire smoke, which just talks about air quality index and what that like means for health conditions, what kind of masks you can wear, and people who are most at risk, which is always good to know. And then this has some good Free Palestine resources, places that you can donate and take action, and just like ways you can talk about it, people you can follow. I'm pretty sure we got both of these for free at events we were tabling at, which is really great. We also like to print out resource zines that either we make or our friends make and note that it's okay to distribute for free, because especially zines with this much information and important information should just be available to all. So these are great. The cutest zine is hands down these little creature tales by our friend Leslie. They're little booklets about these little creatures and their lives. This one is called Yerba, this one is Farfalle, Mr. Green, and Miss Martha. Leslie also makes these little creatures that are not necessarily doubled with like one of the booklets, but are very cute and in a similar style. This guy is knitting, and I love him. I also just love that they come in a little pack, and the box itself is just so adorable. All right, the funniest are definitely these 2. The first one is dream interpretation and what to do about it. Connect to your subconscious, illuminate your dreams. This handy guide will explain the symbolism that reflects your spirit and portends your future. 100% accurate every time. I just really like the way that they write it. It's really just kind of goofy and dramatic, which is always a good time. And then the other one is memes about shitty dads to laugh, cry, and heal. Just resonates, I think, I don't know, maybe with everyone. Do you have a good dad? What's that like? So that's really just a blast. Also, if you know anything about me, which you're about to know more, I am obsessed with Hilary Duff. So the second I saw that, I was kind of also just in love with this zine. Yeah, I'm a pretty simple guy. I don't know. This one I got in an international trade, which is really cool. It's been fun meeting people overseas and getting to share artwork with them. And then this one I think we just got at one of the first zine fests that we did. All right, the Gayest was also a tie because it's really up to your interpretation and, I don't know, your type of gay. But the first one is Revamping Creation, which is a collage zine that I got from someone I met in a zine Discord. This is for sure my favorite page. It's hilarious. I guess also could have gone in funniest. Then the other one is How Lesbians Work, which I got at a bookstore in Madison, Wisconsin, but they're at a lot of local places here in Minnesota as well. And yeah, this one feels pretty self-explanatory. I feel like both of them do. Again, I'll be linking all of these below where applicable if you want to check them out. But yeah, I love these ones. Second to last, even though we've got a bunch of honorable mentions to go through, so we're actually not very close to done, sorry. The most recent zine I got was this Lizzie McGuire Alpha Repeater zine, which, again, obsessed. The first concert I ever went to was a Hilary Duff concert when I was, like 6. And the Lizzie McGuire movie is still probably one of my favorite movies. I also have a few, like, episodes on DVD, one of which is the one where Kate calls her an alpha repeater. And then it's also a giant poster on the back. Giant, it's a regular size piece of paper. It's a poster on the back, which I am just also obsessed with. I really like when people do that, to just utilize all of the space in a mini zine. We got this at Insert Name Zine Fest back in, I think it was August. We've done a lot of art fairs this fall, but not a lot of specific zine ones. But this was really, really fun. And this artist is awesome. And then lastly, again, except for the honorable mentions, we're gonna be here a while. This is the most recent zine I made, and it's this one called Change, a collage zine. This is actually like the master copy because I haven't printed a bunch out yet. I haven't gotten a good scan. And so, oh, wow, it's glued together a little bit. 1 second. So this one was really fun to make. Lizzie and I both are making collage ones. I'll grab that one in a second. But we used tissue paper instead of just like little scraps of paper, just for like a more translucent kind of, I don't know, interesting effect. I like the little teared edges that we could create. And it was just really nice to like do something with my hands. Again, like digital zines are great, but it's just like, sometimes it's not as cathartic, you know? And then this is the one Lizzie made that night. It's called How Do We Remember? Also just really beautiful, kind of just about like grief and death. Yeah, this one was great. Okay, so that's the list, but I have a handful of honorable mentions that didn't really fit into one of the categories, but as I was going through our zines, I just wanted to show off. The first one is this one called Medieval Torture. It is all black, which probably took a lot of ink, and it still kind of gets on your fingers, but this one is just stunning. Next, obviously, this Bill Cipher one. If you haven't seen Gravity Falls, watch Gravity Falls, and also Owl House. Those are genuinely, unironically, 2 of my favorite shows. Adorable. Someone traded this with me at one of our events, someone who wasn't even tabling, which I think is really fun. And then we've got this Inktober one, which I just honestly like love this person's style. I would get all of these tattooed on me. This is someone I met while tabling, and they're super cool, super good artist, but I just, yeah, I don't know. Maybe someday I'll see how many of these I can get tattooed on me, but I can't even nearly afford that right now. So, all right, next we got this one, which I should have done a category of like zines that make you cry. This one made me cry immediately, mostly because I had a black cat growing up, so it just really resonated with me. It is just kind of about what it's like after your cat or your pet dies, making me tear up a little bit right now. So, I'm going to put it down, but it's very, very lovely. Yeah. And then we've got another sort of comic zine. I just think the colors and art on this one are absolutely impeccable. Okay, and then actually lastly, we have this one, which is one that we made called The Room for Something. It was Lizzie's first collage zine, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. And one of the people that we trade internationally with got inspired and decided to make their own version of it, which I thought was just an honor. I was like baffled that I didn't even make it. That's Lizzie's zine, but we were both so blown away that someone did something even remotely inspired by us. Like, I guess that's why you make art, right? She even credited us on the back, which is really fun. But yeah, that's so cool that, I don't know, sometimes you don't realize that your existence makes an impact, and then you do. So that's just cool. All right, so like I said a couple times, I'll do my best to leave links to everyone and everything down below, including our Ko-fi shop if you want to check out any of the zines that we made. And if you really like our zines, we are soon starting a zine club, and I'm gonna make a tier called like Early Bird Zine Club or like Early Supporter or something like that. That's gonna be like a, I don't know, $2 to $3 discount, like forever, if you're like one of the first like 10 people to join. But yeah, joining the zine club will get you an original physical zine shipped to you every single month. And then I'll also probably have some other tiers of just like, I don't know, behind the scenes content, our sketchbooks. Maybe we'll do even like stickers in there at some point. I don't know, it depends on what we can afford up front. I don't think that early bird one is gonna fill up fast by any means, so feel free to sit on it and take a look at our stuff to see if that's something you'd even be interested in. This is a really small channel, and we have a pretty small following, so it's not gonna like fill up fast. Genuinely no rush, but check it out if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching. Please, even if you've never made a video before and you just, I don't know, have a collection of zines you wanna show off, make it. I love seeing other people's zines and what they have and what they resonate with. And if you do make a video or even just like an Instagram post showing off all your zine collection, tag us in it so I can see it. We're at Hunter Moon Press on pretty much everything, Instagram and Tumblr are the main ones, and then here on YouTube. Comment below your favorite ones. Let me know if you have any questions or ones you want to take a closer look at. Yeah, I guess like, comment, subscribe, comment nice things, ideally, please. Hope you're having an okay time, and I'll see you around.